Recording in progress.
Okay, I'll call Fortuna City Council meeting to order. Can you join me for the flag salute, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Conley?
Present.
Councilmember Losey?
Here.
Councilmember Mobley? Here. Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Here.
Mayor Trent?
I still want to answer for Pro Tem. Here. Okay, oral comments from the public. Anybody from the public that would like to speak on anything that's not on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move to business or our consent calendar. We have City Council minutes, Administrative Department monthly report, Community Development monthly report, Finance Department monthly report, Parks and Recreation monthly report, Police Department monthly report, Public Works monthly report, River Lodge monthly report, a report of disbursements, supplemental budget request for the addition of the playgroup program in the Recreation Division budget, and ratify the Fortuna Fire Protection District Ordinance 2022-23-1, adopting the 2022 California Fire Code, Title 24, Part 3, based on the 2021 International Fire Code, and authorize the submission of the 2021 Community Development Block Grant application. Anybody want to pull any of them?
I'd like to make a comment on E.
Okay, go ahead.
I just reading through it, 4 vandalism occurrences in the Parks Department in January that needed to be fixed. And that takes time away from the staff from working on other projects, from helping do with the programs for the recreation and getting things done, maintenance on the medians. So again, I'd say if the public sees anything, let somebody know so that we can nip it in the bud. And just, it's not a good thing. It costs time and money. And the biggest right now is money. So, thanks. That's all.
Anyone from the public want to comment on any of these? Okay, we have a motion here.
Move to approve the consent calendar as printed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None? Okay, moving on to business. Our first item is authorization to award a construction contract for the Courtyard Roofing Project CIP 9969 to Darren Thompson Construction and establish a maximum contract amount for $150,000. And Matt, you have the report on this?
Yes, I am. So a little background on this project. The corporation yard is located at 190 Dinsmore Drive. It houses the utilities and streets divisions, as well as a carpentry shop and the mechanic shop. Getting into this, when I began working on it, I see that this has gone back for several years. This has been kicked around, and it's really gotten to a point where it's become imminent. There were small leaks that have gotten worse from oxidation on the seams of the roof, and it really has reached its maximum lifespan. Included with the replacement of the roof would be installation of new vents, skylights, roof jacks, trim, gutters, and downspouts. This project, the skylights are something that are a little bit of a point of contention. We're going to remove 3 of them for the potential of future solar on the roof, and we reserve the ability to remove more. I've talked to each of the contractors that looked at the project, said that removing more of the skylights wouldn't cost any more and would be a simple change order. So that's a possibility as we look into how much space skylight or solar would take up on the roof. Also with this project, there's two bid alternatives. One is the carpenter shop door, which is, it's an 8.5 foot tall roll-up door, and it's been hit several times by like forklifts and stuff going in. It's a little bit too short. So one of this alternative is to put a 12-foot tall door in, so for better access to the building. The other one is on the corner of the building when you're pulling up to it. The metal panels on that wall have been impacted and they're all crumpled. And on the inside of that wall is the comms hardware. So what we're gonna do is propose having that replaced, and then in-house we'll put bollards in front of it to prevent that from happening again in the future. Let's see, this project was released publicly on the 12th of December, and the deadline was January 19th, at which time we received three bids from different people. The low apparent bid was Darren Thompson Construction for $134,200, including the alternates. The next bid was from Arc Design. It was $221,000. And the third bid was from Hubert Roofing, and it was for $254,000. So we were pretty pleased with Darren's submission. The apparent low bid submitted by Darren Thompson Construction was for $134,200, which is within the budget allocated of $150,000. Our estimate was $135,000, so we did pretty good on this one as far as the engineer's estimate. After looking into and researching, staff found that Darren Thompson Construction was fully responsive and that they and their subcontractors have active licenses and registrations. If the project is awarded, we anticipate being in contract by the end of this month or the beginning of next month. However, with talking to the contractor, he indicates that being up on a roof with an 18-foot long kite there's a certain time of year when it's a little safer to do. and so it probably might not happen until into the summer sometime, and we're going to work with him on that. This project will be funded from capital reserves, both water and sewer, and it will be split evenly between the two. And yeah, so as the available funding for the project of $150,000, staff proposes to award the project to Darren Thompson Construction for $134,200 with the project maximum contract amount not to exceed $150,000. This leaves approximately $15,800, which is about 10% consistent with this type of a construction project. And with that, staff recommends that the council authorize city manager to award the corporation roofing project CIP 9969 to establish a maximum bid contract in the amount of $150,000.
Thank you. Council have any questions?
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the last estimate we got prior to this one was about 2015, and it was for like $67,000.
Yeah.
So it's gone up a little. And in defense of the crew, that dent on the corner of that building was there in 1993. So it's
Well, it's
not
been-
anybody today that did.
This will be the second time. This will be the second time it's been repaired, so we're going to make sure it doesn't happen again.
merit. With regard to the base bids plus the alternates, the low bid of $134,000, there's quite a difference between that bid and the high bid of $254,000 being $120,000 some odd dollars difference.
It's refreshing.
So, well, and I'm not complaining about the low bid, but what is the difference between that high of a bid, which is over 120,000 plus, difference versus the low bid of 134,000?
I would
Is
say
it-
exorbitance and exploitation of public funds.
Well, one of the things, they're out of town. So when a contractor's coming from out of town and they're not local, it's likely that they're having to put their crews up and lodge them the whole time. So that's the biggest difference between the second two and the first one.
Okay, so both Arc and Harbert are from out of the area?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
So if
you.
you look at hotels times however many weeks it is for showing up, so.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why this fund is coming out of the enterprise, why this is coming from the enterprise fund?
Why it is or why it isn't?
Is,
Because it's shared, that building primarily houses utilities and general services, so there's a portion of that that's utilities, yes.
water and wastewater? Okay, thank you.
Any other comments? I'll open public comment. Anybody from the public like to speak on this item? Close public comment.
Good report, ma'am.
Ready for a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the city manager to award the courtyard roofing project CIP 9969 to Darren Thompson Construction and establish maximum contract amount of $150,000.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Is it roll call? Or, okay, voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None. Motion passes. Okay, our last item is City Council discussion and review of committee, commission, application, and mayor's appointment to the seat attachment. And who, or are you?
I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
Thank you, honorable mayor, council members. So for this item, we have one open seat on the Parks and Recreation Commission as of December 31st, 2022. The terms of office for Parks and Recreation Commissioners are 3 years, so this term would expire in 2025. We have one application. It would be a reappointment, and it's from Mr. Joe Vassell. So at this time, staff is recommending that the council approve the mayor's recommendation for the reappointment of Joe Vassell to the Parks and Recreation Commission.
I also talked to the Parks Department, and they're very happy with Joe on the commission and would really like to see him reappointed. So he is my choice. So, go back here. Do we have a motion on the, oh, does anybody want to speak first? Anybody from the public? Seeing none? Close public comment.
I'll make a motion to approve the mayor's appointment.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Moving right along here. To city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor Trent. So just a quick review of our upcoming council meetings. We're back to a regular Monday meeting on March 6th. That'll be our next regular city council meeting. Our next planning commission, February 28th, normal time, 6 o'clock p.m. Our next Measure E meeting, still a ways out, March 21st. And then our next Roner Community Recreation and Park District, that's our next meeting up, and that'll be on March 1st. All those meetings are held here at City Council chambers. I just had a few things for my report. I'd like to say that I appreciated the Chamber of Commerce for organizing the State of the City breakfast. It was very well attended this year, and it's always nice to share with the public all the things that are happening at the city. So I think we're lucky that the Chamber organizes that event for us, and it's a great opportunity to be in front of a pretty wide cross-section of folks. One other thing you may have noticed, the VFW post at the Vets building, they were able to put up a new fence. So we reviewed an alignment with them that allowed access to the back of the library, and they ended up putting out a really nice fence there. But that VFW post, I guess it has the highest population or the most members of any post north of the Bay Area, and they have a very vibrant and diverse age group of their membership. And from what I hear, it sounds like something that there's a lot of folks that enjoy and participate. So they wanted to put that fence up to have an outdoor space, and they did a really nice job with that. I think it's almost done. I don't know if they got the gates hung or not yet, but it looked like they were doing a really nice job when we saw it the other day. So we were glad we could work with them to come up with something that worked for their facility and adjacent to the library, and it still looks really nice. They put up a wood fence and they changed the design, and so they went above and beyond to try to make it something that would look nice for the city and still suit their needs. And they probably had a little more expense there, but we're pleased that they were able to put that together and get it done so quickly. One other item, we were able to take delivery. Now we have all 6 police vehicles that we had been waiting for. Chief Day was able to find those, so they're sitting down in the city courtyard, the 4 Tahoes that haven't been outfitted yet, and those should be up and going within 3 to 4 weeks, tops. So that'll be nice. I saw those Crown Vics rolling around today. I saw them out there, so we won't be seeing those hopefully by the end of March. I'm continuing to work on SB 1383 compliance. There's a number of things that are moving right now, but one of the things that affects the city the most is I'm considering recommending that we get other legal counseling or legal counsel besides the Cooltown law firm. There's another attorney I've been speaking to who has a lot of familiarity with negotiating and really know where the what the business are and the profit portions of negotiating the franchise agreement. And so I've been talking to Kathleen Gallagher. She's also working with some of the other local agencies. So I'll be bringing back a recommendation to the council that we consider alternative legal counsel to assist the city with a franchise negotiation. We've also been participating in meetings with some of the other local jurisdictions in HWMA. One of the key things for SB 1383 compliance, again, that's collecting organic waste. Right now, there's nowhere to take it, and the state is really wanting to give us a compliance action plan that binds us to a timeline. But when you can't take your organic waste anywhere because you can't collect it, that becomes a critical point. And so the plan right now is for HWMA to convert one of their tipping floors to be able to collect the waste from countywide. And so we're working with HWMA. The city of Eureka is going to write a grant. The city will have some level of cost participation. We already have the funds budgeted for the city's contribution towards writing that grant and also participating in that regional effort. So I guess in short, working with the other local agencies to come up with a regional solution. And then we're looking at new legal counsel for assistance with the franchise agreement. And then I will be out of the office the rest of this week. Chief Day will be acting city manager. So if you have any questions, I will be available by cell phone and email, but Chief Day will be taking over for the rest of the week.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, is there any council member that would like to have anything considered for a future agenda?
I do. I think that for the next meeting, we should probably have a discussion about the council being in opposition and maybe the city being in opposition to Assembly Bill 742, which was introduced by 2 assembly members, both of them from the Bay Area, on February 13th. What Assembly Bill 742 does is ends the use of canine units in law enforcement for arrest, apprehension, and crowd control. Dogs would be used or be able to be used in other situations, but primarily it really ties the hands of law enforcement. And as you know, we have 2 canine units here in Fortuna as well as many others across Humboldt County. So I'd like a discussion about that and maybe even look at a resolution that would be in opposition to 742.
I
Okay,
think that's a good idea.
council in all agreement with that? Okay, can we do that? Okay. And then we'll move to city council reports. Start with Councilmember Conley.
Thank you, Mayor. I haven't had my meeting yet this month. It'll be next week for the REDAC. Pulled me off my agenda. Hold on a second. Nothing going on there. The Hot Shots basketball, I want to say that I've been seeing that. So the Parks and Rec Department, it looks like that's been a blast. I've lots of parents that are reporting their kids having a ton of fun with that. So thank you for everybody involved with that. I'm just glad I don't have to deal with that Saturday parking anymore, and my kid's in 5th grade. And the skating rink, my other son goes to the skating rink, and it says it has been packed. And it's great to see the kids and the youth out in the community getting out there to be able to use our facilities. So thank you, Cameron, for doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Councilmember Losi?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I didn't have any meetings from the last one, but March the 1st, I have a LAFCO meeting. I'm on the selection committee for the outstanding for the public commissioner. It's from the general public appointment. So there'll be 3 of us looking over 3 applications on that meeting. So that's all I have.
Okay, Councilmember Mobley?
I don't have anything to report, but I did want to thank Merritt and Chief Day for the outstanding presentations at the presentation last week at the Chamber of Commerce. You guys did an excellent job. Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem Johnson?
Yes, I just want to say that, echo that. I was able to attend the breakfast, and it was great. It was a good opportunity to have the public come and see what happens and how we operate and where we're going and what we're doing. And you guys both did a great job in that presentation and showcased the facility too. So I did have an HCOG meeting last week, and one of the items was a presentation on the Broadway corridor projects that have been happening there, as well as the Indianola overcrossing. And what was interesting was all the work that's been done, and there's still more coming. The $137 million worth of work that's been developed and programmed and funded. And a lot of it is safety items for pedestrians and bikes, and make traffic flow easier, adding a signal at Hillficker, which if you've ever tried to get out of there and turn left and head north, it can be exciting. And it's a complete streets project. There'll be a buffered bike lane added to Broadway. So interesting to see it happen. Another thing I've got coming up is the Historical Commission meeting next week. Or not next week, next month. And I'm looking forward to that because I missed the last one, and I like getting to the museum and checking it out. So that's what I have to report right now.
Thank you. And I had a Mayor Select Committee meeting, which it's the mayors of all of the cities in the county who get together and choose people for different committees. And our council member Mobley was chosen for the Humboldt County Redevelopment Oversight Board because we do have a big state in this committee. So thank you very much for accepting that. And the State of the City turned out great. You guys did a great presentation on that. And I would like to ask Chief to talk about some very generous donations we got for the K-9.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor Trent. And through the council, I just wanted to take a few moments this evening to, just reemphasize how successful this K-9 program has been since we re-implemented it. And it's largely in part to the council support, our Measure E support, and then community donations and grant funding for our second K-9. And, we've financed that second K-9 team solely through those kind of charitable donations. And so I wanted to give a shout out and just thank first the Redwood Capital Bank, Mary Curlis Smith, the grant director there, and the rest of the board of directors is finalizing a $3,000 donation to the K-9 program. And then also Denise over at the McLean Foundation is working on a separate grant for $5,000. So that's $8,000 that we didn't have yesterday that we're going to be able to, just continue the work of these these dogs and their handlers, and we just are really getting so much mileage with them in the community. I mean, you know, they're a great de-escalation tool. We show up. There's been countless incidences that we've shown up to felony behavior or behavior that would otherwise require substantial use of force. And, you know, the mere presence of those dogs are enough oftentimes to de-escalate the situation. And just back to the community component, the department, the officers, it just seems to upgrade the approachability factor, and that's important in our model of community-oriented policing here. So just very, very thankful to the community and all the support, and in particular to McLean and the Redwood Capital Bank.
Thank you. And this is one of the reasons that this bill that Councilmember Losi is talking about is so important that it doesn't pass, because it'll take a lot of the ability away from the dogs to be able to, they don't want them to bite anybody. Don't run, you won't get bit. Okay, now we are going to adjourn to closed session for public employment pursuit, Section 54957 of the California Government Code titled Police Dispatcher. Anybody from the public have any comments on that? Seeing none, do we have a motion?
Motion to adjourn to closed session.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone, for coming.